Three more books I want to talk to you about that changed my life. The first book I want to talk about, boom, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Oh my goodness gracious God Almighty. It strips down religion. It strips down the educational system all the way down to atoms, positive and negative ions. He so masterfully looks at how we've been amped, pumped, tricked, cultivated in such a way to manipulate how we think that we give so much credence to God, so much credence to the devil. Now, that does not mean God doesn't exist. That's not what we're saying. That's not what he was trying to prove. What he's saying is our context of it has more to do with really simple practical things of positive and negative energy, which we have both in us because we have positive and negative ions, both of which support us. However, until we bring it down to that level and simplify why we get excited, why we have euphoric experiences that we call God when it's just basic science, then we can be ran off. People can run off with us. People can lead us astray. That's why, unquote, cults work and etc. and all these things. That's why we get lost and then we get mad at God because God didn't show up. It doesn't even work like that. It doesn't even work like that. And I know this is controversial, but that's good because you need to question everything you believe because as I told you in my other book series that Dr. Don Miguel Ruiz let us know in the book, The Four Agreements, you don't even believe everything you believe. You believe because it was given to you. So if you really want to know if your God exists, then it's really important that you try on everything that's controversial to what you've been taught. Because your God wouldn't, if your God is real and authentic, there's nothing for your God to be afraid of in your journey to discover. So I want you to do that. Check out the book, Outwitting the Devil. It's phenomenal in de-sculpting or breaking down, decentralizing religion and education to show how it's been used as a tool to manipulate how we behave, how we act, and how we make decisions. So it's worked for the system, and we've missed it by paying attention to the system, thinking the system was the means. It's not the means. It's what was given to us to manipulate us. God is so much deeper, and the whole conversation of the devil is not even worth your time. But negative energy is, because you have the choice to choose positive energy. I recently heard that the only true positive energy is love. Anything short of that is a deviation of it, a negative variation of it, even if it's like or happiness. That it's a negative, an entry of something negative that lowered it from the highest vibration of love. Now that's a deeper conversation that gets into quantum physics and other stuff that you can look into in your own time. But Outwitting the Devil is an amazing book because the devil is often in the structures and the systems that's been given to us that's keeping us hostage and not allowing you to live the full life you actually can and taking control of your life as God would have it for you to be because you are one with God and we are one with another, but you can't do that if you're looking outside of yourself. So Outwitting the Devil is a phenomenal book. As a matter of fact, if you really like suspense, then I encourage you to get the audio because it's read exceptionally well. And the voice of the devil separate. And then you get to destroy the demonic thoughts, patterns that's been placed inside of you with truth. And that truth sets freedom, right? So jump into it. The second book, Creating Peace by Being Peace, written by Dr. Gabriel Cousins. Ooh-wee! It's a great book on nutrition and the Essene priest's way of living. Man, so many of us have no idea what's happening in our body in this energetic field when we eat carcasses of animals and what happens to us. I'm not demonizing you for it. I'm saying that there's energetic responses to it. And when we don't, especially in America, don't take care of our animals and we kill the way we do and we raise them the way we do, there is all negative energy being released in their blood at the point of death, and it's in the meat, and then we're eating that and we're wondering why we're so hormonal. We're wondering why are we the sickest, statistically, I'm not making this up, why are we the sickest country on the planet, yet we have the most advanced technologies? You might want to start asking yourself questions like that and stop buying into the hype. Because we got a lot of hype in this country. It's not the worst country in the world. I'm not dogging our country. I'm saying there's a lot of bull jive going on, and you need to know about it so you can sort through it. You are the country. That's a whole other conversation. But as you begin to read the book, Creating Peace by Being Peace, you discover that you being peace on the planet creates peace. But it has to start from within you. One of the exercises that they did in the book was New York was at an all-time high in crime. They took a meditation group, because it's more than just what you eat. They took a mindful meditation group to New York. They stayed for the whole summer. Crime, I believe it was down at an all-time low over a 7-year period. It's been a while since I read it, but something like that, where crime came down because there was mindfulness. That was you, that was the individual being peace, and there were other situations that showed that, which is why our country is so interesting. Because if they keep us at edge and against one another, we don't get to be peace. But see, the goal of keeping us on edge and against one another is so that we don't slow down and think. Remember during the pandemic? Everything slowed down. There was a calm. And when it was time to go back to work, people were like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm going to go do something else. See, all that was around peace. All that was around peace. Don't miss it. All that was around peace. The whole world was more peaceful. So as you learn to create peace by being peace, you discover why you would eat certain things and why you would not eat other things, because they disrupt your energetic flow. I'm trying to help you help yourself like I was helped. Go get the book. It's phenomenal. All right. Now we're about to go and mess with some people, because this last book right here, The Way of the Superior Man. The Way of the Superior Man. Oh, one of my most favorite books in my entire freaking life. I don't know how many times I've read it. I've given it to my son. I've given it to my brother. I've given it to my dad. I've given it to my other brother. And we all interact and talk about our relationships surrounding this book. You want to know why? Because there is no man code book out there. I mean, somebody probably labeled it, but they don't know what they're really talking about in the context of really providing value. This guy, his name will click. His name will click. Anyway, he wrote this book called The Way of the Superior Man. Now, let me tell you why it's so powerful. And I'm going to Google what is David Deida, D-E-I-D-A. Let me tell you why it's so powerful. He's not the guru, but because he's a well-balanced man in his masculine and his feminine energy, he was able to write a book. By the way, it was recommended to me by a woman. That's how powerful it was. He was able to write a book and decode the mysteries of my desires, my obsessions, my thoughts, my wants, my habits, and help me understand me. I've never read a more powerful book, and I've read a lot of leadership books growing up on men. This was the first and only one to date that when I read it, it helps me understand me. That's one side. And then it helps me understand my woman and how I show up in the relationship, and why I will have different proclivities. And he doesn't judge any of the proclivities. He simply says, hey, if you do that, this is going to create that. But the reality of why you want that is probably over here, rooted in something that you haven't resolved as a man. And if you go resolve that, then this will dissipate, and you'll be able to boost and keep your family and have peace in your relationship. So good. One of the most powerful phrases he talks about in that book that I remember is, you must penetrate the world, your woman, like you penetrate the world, or they both will reject you. Meaning you better show up for real, because they can sense inauthenticity, because that's how they're wired. But it's on you, not on them. Woo! Get that book for yourself. Get it for your sons. Get it for your fathers. Get it for your wives. Women, read it yourselves. It's going to help you understand men better and the quest that we are after. Those are 3 books that have transformed me completely. Here's what I want you to do. Comment below. Tell me, have you read those books? What did you learn from it? What stuck out to you? What was the favorite quote in each of those books that really blew your mind up? Huh? And then add in the books that you read that really transformed you as well. Last but not least, click like, subscribe, and share this page, this video with other people, because you love them. You care about them. Why not? Don't be selfish. And then for you, go ahead and be selfish. Sign up for my free VIP group where we talk about things like this and we expand in these areas, because we can all be better. But it starts with you.